welcome to 17th Ave Family Podcast. And we back at you. Um, we have been absent for a couple weeks. I was on vacation, you know what I'm saying? But we back now and we got a lot to talk about. And we want to let you know what's going on with Safe Haven, what's going on 17th Ave in Patterson, and the project that we're approaching and we're doing. And we are opening up something, but I'm gonna let King Duhan let y'all know about that. Shadi let y'all know about that. But welcome back to the show.
Yeah, welcome everybody. As my brother said, we've been off a few weeks. We're working on some things. I kind of, I'm not really ready to let the cat out the bag yet. However, if you could all see this shirt here called the 17th Ave Family Apparel, this is something that is not exclusive to just 17th Ave. This is something that we've put together to actually create a movement, a vibe of family oriented business when you're working together and to bring about unity from different neighborhoods. Being able to wear something and connect as a family rather than a or some separation because, you know, he and I grew up in a time where you could go anywhere you want. You didn't have to worry about, getting shot at or, drive-bys or things of that nature. And we, as a community, as a family, have the ability to change how our community is. Yeah, you hear a lot of people say, oh, they different. Yeah, they are different. Why are they different? Youth are different now because the parenting is different. So in order for us to bring back what it once was and better than it was, it's going to require the community to work together. The community working together under one, two, three, four. How many umbrellas we need to work under? But the goal is to make our communities safer, to make our families more functional, and to start keeping the dollars flowing in the communities longer than a half hour. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to take all of us working together, regardless of ethnicity, background. If you're in the neighborhood, you're part of the 17th Ave family if you would like to be, because it's about a movement of unity and working together to make our situation better, to make our communities better, and to make it safer for the young people as well as for the elders. When they come out, they can feel safe. Coming out and not having no fear, knowing that everybody is in one spirit, the 17th Ave family. So they're going to be on display pretty soon, and you can get yours, and we'll let you know where you can get them from. But that's it for now. I'm gonna let my man go ahead and share some stuff about
Yeah, I
Safe
don't I don't
Haven.
want I don't want to cut you off. You sound a little staticky though. So excuse us for the audio difficulty. Yeah, because when you talk, it's like a little bit staticky on my end. I'm getting so I don't know if you're getting that or if the people is getting that, but when you talk, it's going in and out. So let's just let them know that you having an audio difficulty right now. So sometimes like it sounds like you being cut off a little bit. So I guess
Okay.
you got to ride with it. Sometimes it come in and sometimes it don't. But what I wanted to talk about my little experience that I had, right? Okay, so I injured myself, right? I had injured myself. So upon this injury that I have, it's a lower back injury. I went to the doctor. So the doctor, the first time they prescribed me on some steroids. Okay, they prescribed on the steroids. A little bit of the background. Let me hit you with. I don't do really medication. I don't get high on drink, nothing like that. So the system that I was taking this medication in, it was very my system was new to this. So the first thing they gave me was these steroids. Steroids lasted for about 10 days. I think I did a show on them steroids too. You know what I'm saying? But the steroids lasted for about 10 days. When I was on this medication, he explained to me that it was in general, it was going to relieve my pain because I was in severe pain. So it was going to relieve my pain, but it was only temporary. Okay. So it was only temporary. So what happened is I'm taking these steroids. It changed my attitude. Okay. Some of the side effects that I didn't notice at first, at least 4 days into taking this medication. I was cussing people out. You know what I'm saying? My attitude had changed and everything. And uh, I didn't notice that until like 4 days in. I'm like, yo, and I'm reading some of the side effects. I'm like, wow, some of the side effects, it was my behavior, my attitude. I was aggressive. So I guess that medication brought the characteristics out of me as a side effect. I was aggressive. Okay. So then I got off of the medication. It helped me with the pain though. The pain was gone. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't allow me only 10 days to be on that medication. They didn't give me a refill. They gave me another medication that was more geared toward the nerves of that was in my back. This medication was morely geared toward that. Okay. So I'm taking this medication for like the first weekend. Uh, and I'm taking this medication and I'm noticing and others around me who know me was noticing my behavior change. My pain, it was gone at first. It had calmed it down. I'm like, okay, the medication working. I'm gonna take it. I'm feeling like motivated. It didn't get me down, it picked me up. But what it did do, bro, it got me high. They call it drowsiness. They say, you drowsy, don't drive, you get dizzy. That's how they describes it as a side effect. As one of the side effects that first week and a half, I'm going into the medication. I'm noticing it. It did help with the nerves that was in my back. It was relieving that in the first week and a half. It was happening. Um, I started drowsing off. I started nodding. I wasn't dizzy. I was nodding, like how you get high, like if, you out there, you get high, you nod out. You ever see
You mean
somebody nodding?
Harold?
Yo,
Harold?
they nod and they don't go nowhere, but they conscious, they can see and they hear everything, but it wasn't just a drowsiness, it was a high, and I was like, yo, and I'm nodding out, and I'm like, and I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh, this stuff is like crazy, right? So they giving me this medication and I'm taking it and I'm experiencing how my body is dealing with it. It actually the body was becoming and it's and going into the second week, the pain, it seems like the pain was slightly leaving, and I had to take a bigger dose of the medication, which gave me a bigger nod, which gave me a bigger and a longer high. At first, it was lasting maybe like 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Then, when I was taking more to get rid of the pain, it started lasting maybe like 25 to 30 minutes on a nod. You understand? And I was like, yo, so this prescription drug that they're giving me, now I have to take more in order to relieve the pain. At the same time, I'm noticing that I'm not myself because I'm under this prescription. I'm really high. I'm in a state of consciousness, like I'm aware, but I'm like, I'm zoning. And it's not a drowsiness, it's not a dizziness. This is a high, right? So, going into the third week, the fourth week, I stopped the medication. I stopped taking it. And the thing I want to discuss is that as I was on the medication, I started noticing how prescription drugs, how we take it, and I have a different outlook on people of addiction and when they get addicted to the drug, how they get addicted to the drug, how they want to try to relieve their pain, and they're looking to substitute if that drug run out or if they can't get that medication no more, and how they're looking for to relieve that pain but causing an addiction at the same time. And it depends on what they're substituting that drug to be that they're putting into their body. Fortunately, alhamdulillah, I was strong enough to like it evaluated. That's what more like was doing. It was very new, and I was experienced the difference in the body. But then I'm like, how about most of us that get on this prescription drug that's described by a physician, and we get on this drug, and they stop prescribing this drug for you, or your insurance run out, or they have to give you a substitute. And we ain't get into the side effects yet. Like side effects is crazy, right? And how a person, how people, not just us, how people get addicted to these prescribed drugs. Because if you notice in our neighborhood, though, we get less of certain types of medication to deal with our mental illness or our pain and our relief, or we get it for a certain window and then it stops. So we get a substitute, what they call it, a generic brand. We get a
Yeah,
generic,
yeah,
we
yeah.
get a
A
generic
generic,
brand.
yeah,
You
rather than the brand that is commonly used. They give you the generic brand because it's a cheaper brand. And so basically what you're saying is basically when you was using the drug for something that was a ailment, a pain, something
injury,
that,
right?
yeah, injury, that eventually it started, your immune system started to be able to handle the drug better. However, it still hadn't taken away the pain completely, which caused you to increase your dosage.
Right.
And you're saying this is what normally happens to quite a few people who start off just trying to maintain the pain, manage the pain from an injury, and somehow, if they are not, as you said, evaluating or conscious of their body, they end up, by the time they figure out what happened, they're already addicted. And now, when they try to get off, now they have to deal with withdrawal symptoms. They have to withdraw from, because their body have gotten used to the intake of this drug. And then if they get cut off, they go in the streets and look for something that kind of mimic the drug that they're getting
Well,
because
but we got to remember. This is the thing. The thing is that they trying to focus on relieving the pain. So it's they still have the pain. Like I still got the pain. The pain is not going away. Like my doctor come back after he get off vacation. I got to go back and see him and see how they're gonna approach it. But the drug, that's it for that drug. I'm not doing that because I already noticing how my body started changing. My body, how it was reacting to the drug started changing. How the pain itself started increasing, even though I was limited to myself and I was finding my behavior patterns was changing. The things I do daily, um, the things that I approach daily out of a habit, I became lazy with it. So I was really acknowledging like what it was doing to me, how it was taking me, and where I was headed. But I wanted the pain to be released. I kind of can take a lot of pain, and that's bad because that increases my blood pressure. You feel me? Because I'm walking around in severe pain because I could take a lot of pain. So I'll be like, well, I'm gonna tolerate it, but that's not good for my blood pressure because it rises my blood pressure, and you know what happens with
yeah, your
your
nerve,
blood
yeah,
pressure.
that's your nervous system,
You
yeah.
know, so this is these are important things that we go through on a regular basis, and we could point. and say these fiends they need to get off this. We could call them what we want. What I experience is, and I say I look at it in a different light, is because even though I'm taking it and I'm aware now, I'm evaluating it. How about those people who have worse pain than me, or can't tolerate pain at all? Like I know people that can't take no pain, so they rather like get rid of the pain. So now you popping and trying to get rid of the pain, and you substituting whatever. So many different side effects that taking place within your body, uh, and it's ridiculous. It's like, and it's up in the air. Like at first, some of the side effects, I was like, okay, long as I don't get these other ones. But going into the third week, the other ones started coming. I started getting other side effects. And when I started getting the other side effects, I'm like, hold up. Hold up. Everything ain't like it's supposed to be. I found myself drift. I found myself nodding for like 40 minutes, like in the zone. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And the thing is, man, it is crazy and it's an experience. And then I'm concerned about even people that I know that I see they addicted to medication and they on and they trying to substitute it out there with whatever they could get and they trying to get it. And some people are severely in pain. Some people have side effects that causes pain. Some people is just a habit of now the drug is the pain. They can't relief off of that because that's the pain. So it's like I just want to put it out there that we have to be more observant, not just calling it as we see it. I think it's when it comes to medicated drugs or any type of drugs for that matter. Like I experienced certain things in the past. I don't, and alhamdulillah, I never had an addiction. And I was strong enough to weave off of this without being like, okay, this gonna make my back feel better, so I'm just gonna do it anyway. And even like with the steroids, it had me souped up. I was, you know, I can lift whatever. I was very aggressive. I was on 100, bro. Like I was a kid again. I was like, oh, this month. And he told me, he said, this was when you an athlete, you know how you have a knee injury. These
Right.
are the drugs they give them. So, but and there, then I was looking at some of their behavior, and I'm like, a lot of these cats are still honest. These
Erratic.
steroids,
They be having erratic behavior.
yeah, for their knee injury, their hip injury. You know what I'm saying? They back, they shoulder, and they constantly getting a needle on this. It was sort of like you ever see that movie, him.
I can't recall if I saw that.
I
You have to.
with one of the Wayans brothers, and
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see
oh yeah,
that.
yeah,
I know I didn't see that. Yeah, I heard
and it
about
took
it, but
it
I didn't
put
see
me
it.
on mind because uh how he was getting his strength through
It
through the
was Marlon.
medication or yeah, yeah,
With Marlon. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I heard about it.
A good movie, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, yeah, when you get an injury or in a car accident, it could be a normal person that can wave. It could be a normal person with a 9 to 5 job. Go to the doctor, get into an injury, go to the doctor and ask for some support. Give me something to help me. Why they thinking they're getting help? Something else is happening at the same time. We must read our prescription. We must ask questions. We must research the side effects, how it affect us with our weight, how we eat, if you got to eat. Basically, when the doctor tell you how to do it, don't do it on an empty stomach. Do it this way. I say follow those directions, but also do your research behind these medications. They're very serious. These are prescribed drugs, and we know who the new drug dealer is. Period. You know what I'm saying? These are prescribed prescription drugs that we have to be very, very careful with when we injure ourselves. And that's giving it to the kids, mental health drugs. You know what I'm saying? These things that get us addicted and that cause behavior. So a lot of people's acting out, right? From the drug side effects and we might be judging them in a whole different manner. Oh, look at this nigga, man, I'm tired of this dude. So I just want to bring that awareness because that is something real serious, something we don't talk about a lot, something that is going on in our community and happening to our loved ones and our family members dealing with these drugs and medication. Let's approach them with patience, sabr. Let's approach them with patience and try to see what they run and assist them in the best way we can. That's all I can say, man. And try to be there for people with that's consciously know that's getting into this and taking medication. Try to help them research that medication so they can know how to take it and how long they should take it for and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I just want to
Yeah.
put that out there to everybody. Be careful with that medication thing, man. You know what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you deny. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
And I think, I think another important thing is for individuals who's taking it to be aware, have self-awareness, to realize when you see something different within your behavior or how your body feels, you kind of notice that, and you act on it, because basically that's what you're saying. You realize that some of your behaviors wasn't your normal behaviors.
Right.
These
Yes.
were behaviors that were induced based on the drug you was taking. And so with that being said, as you stated, there's a lot of individuals who have erratic behavior who we may think, because we don't know they're on medication,
Right.
that they're just having that type of behavior, and we react to them as such rather than considering they may be on something.
Right.
And the side effect may cause them to react angry, may cause them to be aggressive. You know, like you said, you was cursing people out, and it wasn't your
Yeah.
intentions to
I was
curse
blacking
people
out,
out.
bro.
And this was a side effect of the drug, but the people around you, unless you told them, they wouldn't have known. They would have just seen you cursing them out, you're being aggressive, and now you're getting people turning away from you. This is how people end up becoming isolated, because
Right.
those
Right.
behaviors have an effect on the people they're around, and the people that they're around choose to stay away from them. Now they become isolated, and guess what? They start clinging to the drug more, you know, and that's when you have the full blown addiction, and now your body starts craving. That's what you were saying, where it creates the pain for the person's body. Now your body is craving for it. Your pain has become doubled, because now not only did now you had a chronic pain, now you have developed an addiction
Oh yeah,
along
it's
with that
going
pain.
into that zone. Yeah, going
Along with
into
that
that.
pain. So
Yeah,
so
bro.
now you don't know whether you feeding your addiction or you're trying to ease the pain.
Right. Because subconsciously you going, I'm taking this now for the pain. But you're going to fuck what I found myself doing. You know what I'm saying? So others be aware that you see the pain is not going. So you start taking a little more of the doses because you want to get rid of that pain. But what happens is, and I started noticing when I did that, more side effects starting to accumulate. So now it's getting into my body. I felt it getting into my body, and I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. So I'm reading it. It said, well, don't jump off of it. Call your doctor and boom, boom. But I'm like, nah, none of that's happening, nigga. Like, I ain't doing that. You feel me? So I dead dumb, and I'm like, okay, now I know the body goes into a healing process itself, right? Your body goes into a healing process itself. What we have to do sometimes is allow that healing process to take place. A lot of us go through that pain and can't allow that process to take place because we can't take that pain. So everybody can't do that. And then from that point, like what I'm allowing now, I'm allowing my body to adjust adjust myself, like, because you know how your brain is going to try to, like, don't tilt this way, don't do this, don't do that. So I'm allowing it to give me those pinpoints of what not to do to ease the pain, and then I'm assisting it there because I know the pain is still there, but I do not want to be on the medications that they have been giving me. Those medications is not good, um, for me long term. It's not, it's definitely not good long term, and it's definitely have an addiction. I don't want to, I just want to make people aware of the medication and how that you could get addicted. I don't want to scare people and cause a debate by putting the name of the drug out there. This ain't for that. This is for any drug that anybody's taking, any medication that you taking if you feel like you got to relieve pain. I don't want to characterize it for this drug and get in the debate like, oh, it don't do that, that don't do this and that. We ain't here for that. I want to bring awareness that when we're taking prescribed prescription drugs, when it being prescribed to us, to do a little more research, listen to your body, be conscious, let someone, a loved one, somebody else know what you're taking and what you're going through, so we could prevent situations as an addiction, or even maybe have something else we can go to get pain, a second opinion, or what
Yeah,
have you. That's it. Just bringing that awareness, brother. That's all. That's it, man. Don't kill a messenger, bro. Step
yeah.
down.
Another
Be cool.
alternative.
Be
I mean,
cool. You know what I'm
because the
saying?
reality is there are a lot of other options that are out here that people can use rather than automatically running to the pharmaceutical companies. You know, the doctors where they prescribe pills. You got to be mindful that, I mean, I'm sure some of you sit in the office and you see people come in the office and they have a suitcase full of stuff and they have medication and they kind of give the medication to the doctors. You know, the doctors get a kickback off of that. So some of them prescribing them because the pharmaceutical, companies give it to them so they can make money. I mean,
Well, it's a drug business at the
yeah,
same
it's yeah,
time. You feel me?
yes,
It's a
legalized
business.
drug
Yeah.
business, and we're the customers. We're
Well,
the
of
customers.
course.
So sometimes they're trying the drug out. They don't even really know how the drug works. They're trying it out. It's something new on the market. They're trying it out with you.
Well,
So
that's the a system. So I don't want to make it look like they all just a bad guy neither. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be aware. It's like if I gave you a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, you know what I'm saying? I say, I make your coffee. Here, you go put it to your mouth and you burn your tongue. Come on, bro. Like, oh, you gave me hot coffee. I'm supposed to serve it hot, bro. You feel me? Unless you specify something. But I'm gonna serve it to you. But you gotta cool it off. You can't rush it. We have to evaluate our actions when we approaching things and when we be doing things. That's to bring the awareness, like, and this is for like people that they hurt. I know people get in car injuries and stuff like that. So the doctors, yeah, they get a kickback. Some of them is a part of the drug itself in the development. Some of them help you. Like, I ain't gonna say that it didn't help me. Um, the addiction was coming faster than the relief of the pain. Addiction was like, no, man, you kind of fresh, man. I'm gonna get you out here. Like, I got you. Like, snatch me right up, man. Like, boom. You know what I'm saying? So, bring that awareness that we have to just be mindful, and this is a serious situation. Be mindful of medications, and that's all of them, man. Aleve,
yeah,
aspirin.
take them.
Be mindful
Yeah,
of this, bro.
take them with caution. I
Yeah.
mean, be cautious. That's basically what you're saying. Be cautious with what you put into your body, how often you put it in your body, and listen, as you said, listen to your body. Recognize when your body is doing something that it doesn't normally quite do, that is causing you to get into some behavior or zone where you know that you're out of your normal depths. Then you curve back. You curve back. And as you said, some people, if they are a person who's low tolerance for pain, they're gonna increase it. And naturally, whenever you take a medication, you continuously take it, your body get immune to it. and then it start needing more and more, you know. So that's a natural reaction with most medications. And when you're doing it quite frequently, that's what happens. So yeah, so hopefully you guys, you know, heard something that could be helpful, and you guys be able to utilize it in the future, or help someone in your family or close friend in the future not to go over the ledge when, you know, to the point where they actually abusing the medication. You know, so that's our time.
And I also
And
want to point out,
go ahead.
always let the doctor know the side effects you're getting from the medication, because they all not they unaware too. So be like, yo, this medication made me do X, Y, and Z. I ain't taking that. Let's do something different. Like, make them work for their money. Don't just hand you anything. You know, talk up for yourself and like check them niggas, man. That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, you know, check the doctor. You know what I'm talking about, bro.
Well, be vigilant in your health.
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
be vigilant in your health and your well-being. You know, uh, we thank you all for your time today. Look forward to seeing you next week.
How are the people? I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead, man.
All
Yeah.
right, you know,
The
love
side effects is like
yourselves,
pricking me. Like,
love yourselves and each other. Until next week, peace.
Assalamu alaikum. Toodaloo.